most people biggest problem with Errol Spence is the fact, or biggest criticism of Errol Spence is the fact that he doesn't move his head. And I want you to click the description and watch the interview with Derek James, brought to you by Dante's Boxing Nation. It's a little bit old, but I remember seeing it, and I kind of laugh when people say, "Oh, he don't move his head. Without moving your head, you know, he's dog food for Thurman or whoever else, or Terrence Crawford." But we back. It's your boy CJ Goodfella, TBC and more. Y'all know what it is. Back on the boxing grind. And, Derek James in the interview explains Errol Spence's defense. And it's very similar to what Gennady Golovkin does. With a little bit of different, flair by Errol Spence, and I explain that. But what Errol Spence does and what Golovkin does as well, their foot movement puts them in a position to be successful. And a lot of people say, they don't move their head, but they move their feet. And that's their head movement. The angles and the movement that they use with their feet, is their best, is their defense. They're able to, like Derek James said, when you move your head, you kind of compromising, making, offensive boxing move. You good for defense, but you're compromising, being offensive coming off the defense sometime when you lean or you move too much to one side. He said what he teaches Errol Spence is to use his feet to attack from different angles and to make people, make them hard to hit. And watch the video and you'll definitely understand it. He definitely can articulate it a little bit better than me. And I understand it because it's the same thing Triple G uses. They both keep their hands up and keep them home and kind of sometimes in that peekaboo manner. Especially Errol Spence, the difference is Errol Spence will pick off some more shots. He'll roll with a little shot sometime as well. But the foot movement put them at different angles for people not to hit them as easily as you think they would. And people say, well, he still don't move his head, and that's cool. But you're going to take some blows in the sport of boxing. You're going to get hit. And what people don't say about, Terrence Crawford, for example, he get hit a lot with the same punches. The same overhand right, he get tagged a lot with. And he's a dude that moves his head and boxes well as well. He gets hit with the same punch. It's very repetitive. And if you watch it on film, he's starting to cover up that deficiency. He started not to get hit with that punch more, but he got hit with it a lot. Felix Diaz clocked him with it a lot. And there's a few other guys that did some damage with that overhand right hand. Or a different punch. With Gamboa hit him with a solid punch as well. And he gets hits a lot. And a lot of people say, well, just because he takes chances, that's fine. Errol Spence takes chances, but at the end of the day, people don't understand the method behind his madness with his defense. And I heard some people say in the gym that he ain't that easy to hit. And this ain't even people that's paid to spar with him and stuff like this. People that's witnessed his sparring. And people say, I didn't know Errol Spence had defense like that. And like we were saying on the live show we did a couple weeks ago with the homie Money Brown TV and homie Correa from ILTBA Boxing Talk, why unveil, every trick in your bag? Well, you don't have to. If what you're doing right now is winning, and the formula that you lose now is beating your opponents, why switch up and show them that you can do something else so they can prepare and be ready for that? So I believe when Errol Spence steps up versus elite competition and somebody forces him to do something different, from what I hear and what I've seen people and what I hear from people that have been in and out that camp, I think he's going to be prepared to show you guys a whole different level of of dimension from him. And when he does that, a lot of people are going to be shocked. And I used to fall into that lull as well of saying, what you see is what you get from boxers. And that's true. Not true. A lot of boxers have more bags than they trick. You just have you have to just force them to do that. You don't know when you finally hurt a guy or a guy behind on the scorecards or whatever it may be or face adversity. A lot of guys have more bags of tricks. Now, some guys are just one-trick ponies. You're providing costs, your Matisse's, and the different guys. But when guys are young and really haven't been on the stage of elite and we're having fought guys that force them to do something different, then I expect to see a little bit something different from Errol Spence, and a lot of different guys. But like I said, watch that video in the description. Derek James dispels that myth and says people don't know what they're talking about. He's right. If you watch the film, the way his legs put him in position to not be hit as often, and if he was so easy to hit because he didn't move his head, I'm pretty sure that he'd have had some problems by now. I remember Sergio Moro saying about Gennady Golovkin. He said, if I can hit you, I'm not scared of you, And that's good because if you can't hit something, I think that'd make a little people more scared. But if you can hit them, I mean, it opens up a lot of possibilities for you trying to win the fight or having a chance and an advantage. And I think a lot of people just try to nitpick Errol Spence, but I think it's a large percent of people that don't understand the method behind the madness. So check the link in the description for the Derrick James interview. Y'all know what it is. It's CBC. Salute.